to have one of those kids, huh?
Well, they come out with these studies about every other year that shows how much does it cost to raise a child. And I know that Steve's going to have a baby on the way here. So
what about people like Bailey that are got 11 and 15-year-olds? He's paying.
Well,
right?
he's halfway there now. Some of the costs are gone already.
Yep. Can we guess?
Yeah.
Because there's a number, right?
This is without college, by the way. So let's leave college out of it for a second, and then we'll add that back in.
All right.
This is strictly without college. Tell me what you think the total amount is.
Brandy, what do you think it is for a kid? Up until 18, until they go off to college.
$500,000.
$500,000. Please don't eat on the air. Nate?
$250,000.
$250,000. I'm going to say it's 109. I'm going to say $1. I'm going to say it's 180,000. I don't think it's that. I think it's like 180,000.
Yeah, I'm with Bailey. I'm going to say a hair over. I'm going to say no more than 200, maybe 200 flat.
So the average across the United States of America is $233,610.
Yeah, and think about that, though. I mean, do the math. 18 into 230, that's what, about 11, 12
I'm
a
dividing.
year?
Yeah, 18 goes in 23 once.
I just did it in my head. It's
you
okay.
did 19, 20, 22, 23. That's 5 on long division. Then 18 will go into 53 two times. So, yeah, about 12,000 a year.
I think I just said that.
Did you?
Using
Okay,
an abacus.
Thank you. It took me a second, but I've got it on long division.
So it's about 12,000. So here would be the question, would be that what does the average American make? That comes in Oxygen Financial. I'm not talking about some of your higher paid clients.
Most of the people in the area here will be in that $80,000 to $90,000 range.
And that's
as a family.
That's pretty good. So you have to now take out $12,000 of that money, right?
It's massive.
Yeah, and how would you do that?
Well, the biggest expense that a lot of people have is actually their home. And I know Steve's thinking about this now, but one of the huge mistakes is that people overhome themselves. They get too big a home when they have two incomes, and then they have a baby and they go down to one income, or they spend a lot of money on the house thinking that their income's never going to contract.
One or the other, kid.
Yeah, what if you don't want to overhome, and what if you're in it by yourself? In other words, I'm one income.
Pretty much what he's saying. What if your wife doesn't work?
Well, what if your wife is deciding to
This is the thing. You don't want to spend more than about 25% of your net paycheck on that mortgage. Not more than that, because what's going to happen is that this says it's about $12,000 to $13,000 a year. But what's going to happen is you're going to have other expenses in the more affluent areas. Like if you live in Johns Creek or Alpharetta or Milton, this number is actually higher. Because people out there their kids have tennis coaches and things like that.
I'm so buying a house in Clayton County.
That's a really good statistic. So if you're about to tell me if I'm off here. If you're about to have a kid, you don't want to spend more than 25% on your mortgage or your rent, right?
25,000 net on your home.
No, 25%, Jason.
25%.
Right. So if you made 10 grand,
sorry,
$10,000 a month,
right.
You don't want to be more than $2,500.
$2,500. Now that's just with child, right?
Yeah.
Right, just with child. Interesting. That's a pretty interesting statistic.
All right, so...
And that's a good way to look at it. I think that dumbs it down. I mean, I know it dumb it down for somebody like me. That's pretty good.
It's simple, and that's what you want, a simple number. 25% of my net goes towards the home a year.
Because remember, guys, this number I just gave you, it's without college. So when people have a new baby, they're knowing that their kids may go to college one day, but they're not thinking, well, how much do I have to save now for the cost of a college, right? Depends whether your kid goes in-state or out-of-state. You may not know that today, but even if they go in-state, I'll give you guys a statistic. You still have to save a couple $100 a month now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they have
college.
They have those programs that you round everything up. You know what I mean? Like some banks.
Yeah, like You Promise and things like that.
Yeah, so if something costs $8.40, that extra 60 cents to round it up to $9 will go into an account. And over 18 years, that obviously adds up.
Sure.
And
everybody wants to know their student has a shot at a scholarship.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't save any money, Steve, and just hope that your kid is a really good football player.
I am hoping he's quite the athlete, but I've got him listening to classical music. I slapped some headphones on Amanda's belly over the weekend, so hopefully he'll be intelligent.
Steve, 100% of the people, when they have a new baby, everyone says, I'm going to be real tough on my kid. I'm not going to pay for college. I'm going to make sure that they work hard and they do everything on their own. And then let me tell you, as they get closer and closer, it never happens.
It happened with my parents. What about yours?
No, that doesn't happen today.
Yeah, my parents were like, if you want to go, go.
Yeah. I wasn't in that spot, but no, everybody I know, same thing. Doesn't happen. They're just saying, what do you tell people that are having a kid, and they're trying to do everything right, taking your advice, and they're saving the money,
regardless of how much money you make,
but they get to a point, let's say 7, 8, 9 years of age, and they sit down with you and they do the math, and they're way behind. Can you catch up?
For college, you mean?
I can't support my kid anymore. He's 8 years old. Should I drop him off at a fire station? I mean, what do you do? I mean, like
local shelter, you know.
I mean, there's got to be people that get to that point. They're like, what do I do? Whether it's for college or there's like, I'm hurting right now.
Dude, you don't drop your kid off at a fire station. You tell them to walk because they'll get your tag number.
No, it's a great question because, Jason, what a lot of people have to figure out is this really a budget issue? Right? Are my expenses more than my income things that I can cut? Do we dine out too much? Are our vacations too expensive? Because people don't often look at their budget. Or is this really a lifestyle issue? Like everything we have, our home, we've got to downsize. So you really have to analyze at that point, do we have a lot of fat in our budget that we can cut out and then start saving that money or making that up so we can actually just live? Or truly, do we have too big a lifestyle right now? We have a $500,000 house and we need to go to a $300,000 house. My kids go to private school, but they need to go to public school. Those are decisions that you have to make.
Please tell me, because I know you advise Steve.
Oxygen Financial, baby.
Please tell
my world.
Please tell me what you told him he's going to have to stop doing and downsize. Tell me what you've told him he's got to change.
You can just one thing.
Well, I think for him, he's going to have to dine out less.
But you don't go out that much anymore, do you?
No, we go out occasionally, but
that's it.
That's all.
Well, he doesn't spend a lot of money on clothes, do you? I don't know.
Wow, and he points at you.
You see what I'm wearing? I'm wearing Psycho Bunny. This ain't cheap. You want to see the jeans? Bought them in New York.
But I will say one tip.
But I am wearing Toms.
In the first baby here, I always tell people buy gender neutral clothes because if you're going to have a second or third child,
in case they're transgender,
yeah, that could be.
Come on. Little Southside will know what he's up to. He'll know.
All earthy tones. Just buy a bunch of Lilith Fair t-shirts.
If my kid likes boys, fine, we'll deal with it. If he likes girls, fine, we'll deal with it. But if my kid doesn't know he's a boy, I'm going to have a long talk with him. I'm like, you were such a dude.
So buying stuff, gender neutral, why? Just in case they have another kid?
Yeah, absolutely. Because a lot of people, when they have their first child, they spend a ton of money on clothes. Your kids grow so fast, a month or two into it, they're out of clothes that you hardly even use. Because everyone wants the nice little overalls or these cute little outfits. And
sailor outfits.
Yeah, and that's
little
what I'm
bow
saying.
tie
Before
outfits.
you know it, you've blown out of them. Yeah. And I would tell you one big thing people have to watch out for here is health insurance. People forget about that. This cost in here, one of the big costs that you'll add is your health insurance. You got to make sure you look at your coverage at work because when you add a child, some employers don't pay for any of the costs for your kid. And that that can add a big number to your bottom line.
I think ours does.
You might know. I won't speak on Cumulus's health insurance plan.
They barely pay for mine.
Yeah.
I doubt they're going to pay for your kid.
Well, they're going to help with the pregnancy.
It ain't much.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Your deductible can run a third world country.
I know.
Like you could drop off 500 pounds of Quino to knock in the mosquito net for what your deductible is probably with our insurance.
Here at Cumulus, once you spend $5,000, we will actually cover 30% of your bills.
All right, Ted, how can people find you, please?
Listen, the best tip I couldn't give on the air today is there's 2 tricks you need to do if you want to get more financial aid, even when your kid is a newborn. If you start early, there are ways to hide money from the government. Go to oxygenfinancial.net. We'll give you the free guide of the 2 tips you need to do right now so you can qualify for more financial aid down the road. Go to oxygenfinancial.net.
All right, excellent. Steve, why are you going to the doctor today? Is this baby stuff?
No, when I came out of my surgery a couple months ago, just for a second, I had an irregular heartbeat. There's like I don't know, there's a term for it.
Irregular heartbeat, I think is the term.
No, there's something else where the...
They haven't got the life insurance.
Palpitation. I had a palpitation. I had a palpitation. So they just wanted me to go to the doctor within 2 months, and they wanted me to take a stress test, but I know I'm fine.
I've seen them on the road. They open for Papa Roach. It's a great band. Palpitation.
What is it, Randy?
Palpitation.
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 And don't anybody call up for $100. When we fix it on air, it's fixed.
But this is a very serious moment.
No, it is, Jim.
Hold on, just stop.
Good Lord.
All right, this is a very serious moment. I need everybody to relax for a second because your doctor visit today, you're worried about something, and I want to discuss it with you. And I want to bring our intern in to help with this discussion because I think that you're going to have issues with your new doctor because of certain things that she possesses, and it's freaking you out a little bit. So we'll talk to you. It's going to get weird. I'm just telling you. Just trust me on this one, people. It's getting ready to get weird.
No, it's not.
It's Bailey and Southside Rock 100.5.
Rock 100.5 right now, Haviland Express.